What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. When we left off in the last episode, we were kind of stuck. Almost, anyway. We got most everything from our base moved up here, and everything else is broken down, but it's also not here. And it got stuck kind of in a cargo container because dummy me forgot to compensate for the massive amount of weight that the ship would be trying to carry with it. So, yeah. Basically, what I did, there's a couple different suggestions and things, one of which was to basically cut the load in half and take part of it and blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, what I decided on was the simple fact that I didn't have enough power. That was basically the bottom line, was there was not enough power in the batteries to actually bring enough thrust and stuff and power enough thrusters to bring it all up here. So, with that in mind, I have basically brought it back here and was doing some other things and let it sit for like an hour, give or take. Only coming back to really adjust the solar panels to make sure they were running at optimum power. And now, while this battery is drained, I mean, it's done, the other two have about 895 kilowatt hours in them. Oh, this one has 900. So, I was thinking about, you know, continuing to do stuff and do some behind-the-scenes stuff until it was done, but I figured we might as well just jump ahead and check in and see how much power we have. So that's what we're gonna do, because if we have enough power, I'm kind of thinking that it should be fine. So I can't see it from here at this point, but let's go ahead. We're going to turn our gyroscope on. The landing gears can come on, I guess. We need the thrusters. And we'll turn off recharge mode. And then let's disconnect. Alright, so that's better. 45 minutes to an hour. I can work with that. So let's head off that way. Well, now it says 30 minutes, but that's fine. So let's head off that way. And I'm going to get everything set up, and then we'll see if we can bring this cargo container back. Okay, so I have it saved at this point. We got the merge blocks and all that stuff set up. I went ahead and threw the two large thrusters back on here, because why not? Power was the bigger issue before. So now let's try and get rid of this. And good, we're not falling. That's the first good step. Whoop, oh, now I'm falling. Now the question is, do I have enough power? Which I should. I think I let it sit long enough. Yeah, 17 minutes even with full thrust, so we should be fine at this point. I am going to have to keep in mind, actually we'll use the big thrusters to get up this mountain. I am going to have to keep in mind though that we have a lot of mass on our left side. So like when it comes to landing and things like that, we're going to need to be careful. But yeah, I think just letting the thing store up with power was a good idea. And I mean, with the way everything works interconnectedly, I could essentially dump the power back into the other battery if I wanted to. Because I could hook this back up to the connector and then essentially tell it to have the tower one be recharging and then set these to discharge or whatever, and it would, you know, refuel. Or I could do it with one of them or whatever. So, I mean, we're not really worried too much about it. But at this stage, oh boy, let's stop, must stop, please stop. The dampeners, though, I don't know if it's the added weight or what, but the dampeners don't seem to be as effective as they used to be. Though somebody mentioned that might be something that they did in a patch. I don't remember them saying anything about tweaking the dampeners, but somebody had told me that in the patch notes that they said it wasn't as effective, or they were not really doing as much anymore, and so you kind of should do your own dampening kind of thing. Because, yeah, I'm kind of spinning around my base. I'm not really Not really stopping. Unfortunately. There we go. And the same with down. Like, I've got so much weight on this one side that when I just tap down, it's really easy to go too far. Now, the added larger thrusters make that a little bit easier, but still kind of applies. Looks like we still have 4 dots on our solar panel, so that's good. And I'll probably end up moving some of this stuff later. Like, I doubt this will... like that. You can go down really fast. I doubt all of this will stay where it is. I'm just kind of trying to get everything up here to this new area. Alright. And... maybe. Kerplunk. Awesome. Alright, and... I'm not sure if I want to dock this here. I don't. So let's unlock that. I think we're going to bring it around and dock it back down here if we can. And hopefully in the near future I'll be able to start using this a bit more as intended, which was a remote drone. I'm kind of piloting it for control, essentially. I feel like I'm kind of at an angle here. The connector keeps wanting to snap a certain way, but I feel like I'm kind of at an odd angle. Oh well, whatever. So we have all our stuff now, so that's cool. Alright. So let's set that to recharge. We'll turn off all of our non-essential stuff. There we go. That should make it a little easier on power. And yeah, so now the rest of this episode, how's our solar panels looking? Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and set... I'm gonna set this battery back to recharge as well. Those are set to recharge, but I want to set this one to recharge as well, because these two have a good amount of power stored in them that if I'm not doing anything too crazy like that, where I'm carrying a gigantic structure or something, it should be fine. Now, I could go back down with my jetpack and just retrieve a couple of those other storage crates, and I might, because what I'd like to do is bring the storage crates out a little this way and then break this one down so it's no longer tied to the merge block system. Actually, I'd like to do that with the hydrogen tank, is move it somewhere else too. But I think we're going to start probably planning out this area a little bit more, because all of this is just not functional at all. Though I do think I'm going to spread it out a little bit more and not to the extent that it makes it huge and complicated or anything. Oh, actually, I want to get rid of these two. Not to the extent that it's like you're overstretching and, you know, you can't... Nice. Alright. Not to, like, the catwalk that we did down there's situation of, let's make a giant walkway that there's no way you can complete, but instead of having everything in one base, I think I'd like to spread out a little bit more of, like, make a platform down there and maybe make one over that way, or maybe, you know, something like that to just kind of make it a bit more industrial. I don't know, though, because the further out I go, the more connectors and stuff I need to have all the inventory systems set up, so I may not do that right away. But I definitely want to spread this out a bit. What I'll probably do, since I don't really need these merge blocks anymore, is... Actually, let me just go ahead and snap a couple of these down. And they don't have to be fully completed, but it makes me feel better thinking that they're actually... there and not just floating or something. But I'm kind of thinking I may bring this platform here out a little bit and make another square, kind of like this guy. with the power plant. And I might try to spread out a little bit and widen this a little bit and make like a kind of a basic starter place with the refinery assembler, their modules and all that kind of stuff. I know I have all the resources because I built them, so there's that. I am going to go back down, though. I don't really need them right away, but just for the sake of completion, I guess. I'm going to go and get the other cargo containers that were down there. I think that's the only parts that I have left, because everything else was broken down and put in that cargo container, I believe. Like the refinery and everything. So I'm pretty sure, other than just steel, like, I've used steel and interior plates and stuff like that to do all the catwalks and framing and whatnot. But I'm just going to leave that there, I think. Because I may come back to it at some point. Unless it starts causing performance problems or something. But at the moment, with the new optimizations, it seems to be running fine. But like all of these, none of them were completed. It was just like a panel or something. And I'm going to leave the cargo, or the conveyors there. Oh crap. I brought all that junk with me in my inventory. Oh well. But yeah, the lights are like a construction component or something. There are 3. They're not really a big deal. And everything else has been hollowed out. I'm going to leave those just because I don't want to basically tear them down and then have to put them back. Oh, there's only 1. Tell me I've got enough room. I don't. Well... so close. Nope, not quite. How many is this? 23? Ugh. What do I have in my inventory? Yeah, I mean, I'll probably just leave it and maybe come back for it at some point. So, yeah, I definitely think I want to work on kind of spreading out the base a little bit and making it a bit more functional at this point, because now everything's up here. We just have to kind of repurpose it. So I am trying to keep in mind kind of what we did, or kind of what I messed up on before with the other base, was spreading too far, too quick kind of thing, overbuilding. And so I'm not focused quite on the design and making it look cool and stuff as much as just spreading it out, make it work functionally, not really worry about how it looks. So with that in mind, let me take a quick break, and I will be back in a minute. So this didn't go quite according to plan. I kind of failed to realize that the oxygen generator was actually what was holding up the hydrogen tank and not the rest of the base. Yeah. So that's the thing. Whoops. I've been working, though, over here, as you can tell, and we've got quite a bit going on, actually. I got a couple more storage crates, mainly just for ease of connectivity, to keep it on level with this, but not really because we needed one, because this one storage crate has held all of our stuff this entire time. It's like 150. It's awesome. I love it. So what I ended up doing was I made this 5x5? No, 7x7. If you count the rounded edge. It's 5 straight blocks and then 2 rounded corners, so I think it's 7x7 in total. So I made this 7x7 platform here, and it's a little overhangy here, but we can fix that in a later date. But as you can see, I went a little crazy with the power efficiency modules, and there's actually one under here as well, as you can see there, to give us 4 total. And then this has been my access point. Ooh, thank you. And then I've got the 4 on the back here for the refinery. So the refinery is all set up. And through the magic of conveyors, they are connected to the storage crate. That goes that one, that goes that one. And then I was going to put the oxygen generator here and maybe the moisture evaporator on top or something like that. And when I went to get the the oxygen generator, this whole thing just toppled over, and I was like, oh, wait, wait, no, that crap. I was like, that's not what I wanted to do. So yeah, I mean, in the meantime, I've kind of just got to put this here, because I have it. I don't think the oxygen generators have the... I'm trying to figure out which way's up. I guess this way. But I don't think they have... Oop. Yep, okay, that went right. I don't think they have the module system like everything else does. We have the main access point there. Yeah, it's just a conveyor on both sides. I don't see a module. And I'm kind of turning these off if I don't need them, though we have enough power going on at the moment. I don't think it's really a problem. Sun's moved a little bit. I guess we'll leave it there. This one, however, it's a modded block, so I'm not really sure, but it has the little snap point there, and not one there, and it's got a conveyor there. So it has a small one. It makes me wonder if there's a... What I don't know is if this is for a large connector and this is for a small connector, because if we look... Let me turn my jetpack off. If we look at this, that's too large. Oh, I guess this is going to be the large for either ship. Conveyor. Let's grab, just for testing purposes, let's grab one of these small ones. And I know this doesn't have a small... No, I guess that's still too big. I don't know. So these might have a conveyor system to them. I'm not really sure. I mean, module system, not conveyor. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and break this down. Now, one thing I'm not entirely sure about, if I'm being honest, does this have... Yes, it does. Sweet. I couldn't remember all of a sudden if this had a... Wait a minute, where'd my moisture evaporator go? There it is. Let's put that side on the back, I think. And that way, if we end up finding we can do a module, we can throw it on the back and it'll match the rest of the other stuff. Yep, upgrade module. There it is. Alright. So we could put one... We could maybe put one like... I don't really think I would want to do it this way, but we could put it like this, maybe. I don't know. Well, maybe it needs both. No, because this is something I've realized. The module system, there's like 2 in 1, and what I mean by that is if we look at the assembler, it says 8 of 8, but we only put attached 4 modules. So it's like, if you had, it'll go 2, 4, 6, 8. So if you only had 1, because you had it going vertically, then it would list it as like, you know, 7 of 8 or whatever. So this one, however, says 1. So it only has 1 module slot, so we might as well do it this way. Unless... No, that doesn't really serve any benefit any other way. I was going to say unless we ended up doing... Is the assembler still working? It is not. Let's make it do something. Unless we ended up doing something to where it was like, you know, you had 2 of them. Hey, now that's an idea. Why didn't I think of that? We could do 2 of them. Not that it really matters, but it's just kind of an efficiency thing on my part that if I've got this, I might as well connect it to something else that uses the system. I can never get these to flip right. So we could do it like that. Maybe. Maybe. Not sure. I think we're going to go with that. Maybe. Yeah, we'll do that. And give me this. Wait, why can't I get it? Oh, I've got to dump it back into the cargo container because there's no hatch, I guess. That's weird. So you can access it. Wait a minute. You can access the panel, but you can't actually get the inventory out of it through there. Huh. That's odd. I didn't know that. The one I'm not quite too sure about is the med bay. It has a conveyor block, but I can't remember if that's purely for hydrogen or not, so we might want to connect that up to our system as well. And I turned the oxygen generator off, I believe. So... where is it, anyway? Oxygen generator. See, this is the weird part that I don't quite understand. I'm connected through the system here, but yet it won't let me transfer this to the oxygen generator. And yet I can traverse this stuff from assembler to this and that and other things. So I'm not really sure how all that works. It's like the conveyor is connected, but it won't let me put it in there. Oh, there it goes. I was gonna say, I thought it was saying the moisture evaporator wasn't working either. I don't know if I want that on right now. Let's actually turn that off. We're trying to conserve power at the moment. Not really because I need to. Oh, what do we need? 45? 45. Our sun's moving here. I really need to set up a script or something for this. It wouldn't really be that hard, I don't think, to do. But that's working really well. I'm happy with that, and we're getting a lot more power out of everything than we were before. For example, this one has 11 hours stored at 94. This one's done in 3 hours, and this one's done in 3 hours, and that's with all of them set to recharge, so no power is coming out of there, so all they're getting is the excess bleed over from what I'm not using on the rest of our system. So that's pretty impressive to me. We're doing pretty good on power. And the nice part about that array is we can always make it taller. You can always add 2 more and 2 more and 2, you know, and just kind of keep going with it, which is cool. I meant to grab stuff out of here, which was, oh gosh, I don't even remember. Rotors, nope, not that many. A couple of those, that. Sure. I don't really remember what all I needed for this module thing. Guess that was it. And then eventually we can put a second moisture evaporator there, and they will be consuming equally less power, which is cool. Now we need to take care of this hydrogen situation here. What I may do is... I'd kind of like to keep this terminal open. Does the medical bay have... Okay, it has a conveyor on the top and the bottom. And I believe this guy... I'm thinking this one has a conveyor on the bottom as well. It does. Alright. So my plan here is I think I'm going to bring the medical bay somewhere about here, I'm thinking. And I think that'll keep it in line that we'll end up just running conveyors under here, and it will link up to the med station. And I might put a conveyor junction there, like a square instead of a tube or something. And then I may, just for now, make a small little offshoot platform or something here for the hydrogen tank. So I'm going to work on that for a minute, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I think we're about ready to try to reattach the hydrogen tank at this point. So we got everything set up over here. We got a conveyor system running underneath to the med bay. And I've got this kind of lined up where if I did my math right, this should go down 1 and put that block right there in line with the conveyor on the bottom of the hydrogen tank. So we're going to try that. As you can see, I put a merge block there and one up there. So what I'm basically going to have to try and do is kind of bring the ship where the side is running vertically and grab hold of it. Now the problem, I don't know if this is going to work, is if these thrusters can hold the ship up in that angle or not. Like I said, I did save it just because, you know, this doesn't always work well for me, so we're going to find out. Alright, flight checklist. Gyroscopes on. Antennas and all that I don't need. Landing gears I do need to be on. Thrusters we need on. We'll turn off recharge mode. Unlock. And we are good to go. So, now, I don't want auto lock on, I don't think. I don't know why these aren't lighting up. Oh, there they go. Alright, so from this point, I need to rock the ship like this. Yep, that's what I was kind of afraid of. Okay, get a little closer and clamp it. And unfortunately, I don't think I have enough lift, so we're going to have to tip the nose forward. Woof. Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. That was an interesting way to do that. Alright. I don't have my extra large thrusters on here like I did before with the crate, but I thought I remembered this being okay before, so I didn't think I'd need it. We gotta get this kind of close until it... There. Is it gonna snap? Come on. There we go. And unlock that. Oh! Fudge. I didn't think about that. I made it too high. Alright, well, since we've got time and we're right here, let me go ahead... And by time I mean battery, like since we've got battery power. And I'm not too worried about it. Let's get this kind of lined up. We're going to clamp that on, and then I'm going to get out of here. I am going to save it. Well, no, I actually won't, because my save point from before was actually before I did this. Alright, so that dropped a little bit, but I'm not worried about it. I didn't actually account for the other merge block. I wasn't thinking about that. I was actually just thinking I didn't want it to, like, hit the ground if I didn't have to. But... So let's get that going. And now let's hop back in here. Okay, and... Let's get our controls going. And it should just snap back in place. Come on. Give it a little snappy. There we go. And unlock. Now we're good to go. Alright, so with that, we can redock our drilling vessel here. If I can get it to snap on. Ooh. These connectors are a little finicky sometimes. We'll turn the recharge back on. Turn all of this stuff back off. And we're good. Alright, cool. So the last thing I want to do is kind of run a connection line from here and run that out to that, and then the conveyor system will actually be, or the tank system will actually be plugged into the conveyor system. And once I do that, I may not do it right now, but once I do that, then we'll get rid of the merge blocks just so we're sure that it's held on. So I will do that and be right back. Okay, so with that, I think we are actually all squared up and ready to go at this point. Let me just double check and make sure. Yep, it's still got stuff in it. Now, what I don't know, I've never had it hooked up like this before, I don't think. Where the hydrogen tank was actually fully connected to this. It might have been, I'm not sure. But I wanted to see... Oh, it does refill your hydrogen. Okay, cool. Now, it doesn't refill the bottles, but it does refill the hydrogen. And I should be able to access the inventory of the hydrogen tank through here. There it is. And refill the bottles that way. I'm still a little perplexed why if I access it here, I still can't get the assembler's inventory and stuff from it. That's kind of weird. And you know what? I may just... I don't know, that's a lot of materials just for covering stuff up, but I don't really like that there's this exposed flooring here, or here, really. But, for now, it's not the prettiest, but it works. So I think that's going to wrap things up for us for this episode. Let me know what you guys think and where you think we should go from here. But we got everything kind of functional at this point, so I think we're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.